the counsels of light that receive commandments of light and ordinances of fire projection from the 24 elders of light to create new universes. If you stimulate the electron in the pineal, God, the supreme photon, will respond. The 24 elders about the throne of God are humans and angelic at the same time. They are the stars of heaven. These stars are not just fixed points of light in some flat earther's wet dream concoction, but dispensers of the photon, electrical angles of God's messengers for the DNA evolution of the chosen. Have you chosen? Make your choice today. My choice, my vote is not of this world. Yeshua, perhaps you know him by his pagan Roman emperor name, Jesus, which means son of Zeus. But Yeshua, the great emissary of light, was tried and executed for political subversion. Let that sink in. For political subversion, as well as magic. Pilate then went out to them and said, "What accusation do you bring against this man?" They answered and said to him, "If he were not a doer of evil, we would not have delivered him up to you." Doer of evil, as the Roman codes say, was common parlance for magician. Perhaps this message is unsettling. Perhaps it is offending. I ask you, dear viewer, to align yourself with your divine intention. Inside yourself. Align oneself with the divine intention inside oneself prior to studying any new material or receiving outside information such as this information dissemination broadcast from the Umbanda New Earth Ashram for compassion, strength, and spiritual technology of the age of Aquarius. One should sit for a few minutes, for a few seconds, even in a restful, peaceful manner with eyes shut. Breathe in a certain way that your vagus nerve, the temple within, is activated. And meditate on these words I'm sharing with you now. Open my eyes so that I may receive the wonders of your teaching. Whisper this phrase repeatedly. Open my eyes so that I may perceive the wonders of your teaching. Your divine intention. Allow yourself to feel the meaning of the words you are uttering, that you are reading, that you are hearing. Allow yourself the possibility of resonance. Allow your divine intention to open your eyes so that you may perceive the wonders of the teaching meant for you in this particular here and now moment of perfection. And as you align with your divine intention, dear viewer, I warn you, O seeker of the occult properties of the nature of things and of the human spirit, that in this second age, in this new age, this Sotah Yuga, this golden age, that many terrible subjects will be revealed. Revealed. Those that had been revealed will be revealed. And by divine law, cannot be confided, cannot be shared in their entirety to uncultivated men, women who are without strong moral character, because the ancient priestly sciences have always been veiled from the popular masses. from todos los gentes del mundo. And Roman Catholicism, drawing its origin from precisely these religions and cults, old ancient mystery schools, they took these teachings and they did not reveal them, they revealed them, the hidden truth. And they obscured, they occulted these spiritual technologies of the ancient mystery schools in their rites of Catholicism. And at the same time, the Catholic Pope, the pontificates, through their worldly dominions, through their activities in this world, they lost the keys to the miracles of the original teachings, of the original spiritual technologies that Master Yeshua went to Egypt and learned and chose to share with the people. But these miracles, these keys to these miracles are within each of us, all of us. But they remain a prisoner of the popular 3D society, of the rights of the people, of their misdirections, of their energetic dissolutions, their energetic perversions. But just as the human soul is a prisoner of the bestiality of the body in humans who lose the light of the spirit and derive all their satisfaction in the corporeal and material senses of this fallen 3D realm, it is your destiny, it is your birthright to turn to the right in meditation and understand the destiny of all things, the destiny of all beings is to reach nirvana. Spirit, to touch your spirit. This is indeed the truth. The cosmos was created to allow something which is unified as one to split itself into many pieces, then rejoin those pieces back together into the greater whole again. Why did it do such a thing? Why did consciousness fragment itself into smaller units of consciousness? Well, to fully experience what it means to live or exist. Your destiny is not to follow the path of another, to be a sheep, to hear about spirit, but to rather experience spirit for yourself. To not just be existent, to exist, but self-existent, self-empowered, self-sovereignty, self-existent meaning self-created, a co-creator. To not just live forever or always, but live forever at what you choose to be. Your choice as a chosen one. We think ourselves individuals, but really we're but pieces, aspects of a spiritual whole, a great unified consciousness. The destiny of any man is to be all things, not merely what he believes as himself, but the entire experience of the cosmos. The cosmos is a very big reality, and by the signs, we're barely halfway through its lifespan. We barely even know the extent of the trillions of universes that we can barely detect now. So the question becomes, dear viewer, do you want to live forever? What do you want to live forever as, if you do want to live forever? Because your consciousness, you can break through to spirit, which is eternal. Now is the time to use magic. Work the mundane and build yourself and your world into everything you always wanted, physically and spiritually, helping your fellow man and woman and everybody, todos los gentes, all the way without giving too much of yourself. For no one should be a sacrifice. This is the great work, the magnus opus, the work all who call themselves magi are practicing, and all those who are yet to be magus, men, women of knowledge is the great Vasamazulu Baba Credo Mutwa pronounced knowledge, but a magi, still a magician aspiring towards the grand ultimate realization of spirit. Magic is our natural born right. It's the ability of spirit to cause change throughout the elements. And we're all, before anything else, your consciousness is spirit. It is spirit. As nothing is totally separate, It comes from the source of all consciousness, which is the mind of God, the Great Spirit, Wankantanka. We should allow all to follow their own path, as we must all learn our own way in life, but defend ourselves against intolerance so that magic never becomes highly persecuted as it once was. In this new age, may science never ground us into our senses, but also may religion never delude us into slaves of our emotions. The way of spirit is the way of balance, always. It is the way, the middle path of the Christ. Now, most of us are familiar with the biographical details of little baby Yeshua's life in the New Testament, how he was born in a manger, fled to Egypt, was baptized by John, how he gathered his disciples, then drew huge crowds, preaching and working miracles, how he cast out demons, healed the sick, raised the dead, calmed the seas, all before he was tried, crucified, and resurrected. Now, to the casual observer in antiquity, they saw Yeshua differently. Here was a holy man, an itinerant preacher who claimed considerable prophetic, healing, and other powers, and who worked wonders to attract a following. In short, in the minds of his contemporaries, Yeshua fit well the profile of the itinerant magician. Among itinerant magicians of Yeshua's time, the least reputable were called goetes, egoists. In the popular mind was a miracle worker whose wonders were illusory, transient, produced by tricks or by the help of demons, controlled by spells, usually for a fee. And such magicians included magic not completely unlike today's stage magicians. Yeshua was defamed by his enemies as a goetes. But among itinerant preachers, however, there was another higher class of magician called the magi, who were itinerant holy men, philosophers, and teachers of wisdom, who, like Yeshua, drew huge crowds with miraculous healings, so on and so forth. Their art was called theurgia, divine magic. It was not as a goetes, but as a magus that most people of his time understood Yeshua to be. A grand magi. Now, dear viewer, I'm going to share a message from Carrie Ann Thornton, and this is in regards to what's going on today in the United States. Carrie Ann Thornton entitled this message, "We Have Been Told." Odin, the North god Odin, came through with a message from Amun-Ra. And she says somebody else came through, which she never experienced any energy like this before. That this power, it was amazing power. And Carrie Ann asked this power, this energy, who they were. And they said, "Who I am makes no difference. This is not where your focus needs to be." And Odin and Amun-Ra and this mysterious energy gave this message to Carrie Ann Thornton. That humanity, the truther community, the spiritual community, the 5D New Earth community were seriously brought to task, roasted, as she says, saying that the message that came basically said that they're not happy. The higher elect, the higher consciousness, these energies of the hierarchy are not happy with what's going on with the 5D New Earth community, that there is much distraction, focusing on this election. Every single person's attention is on this election. The entire community is focused on this, which is a fake election to begin with. That's my add-on, But anyway, what's taking place in the 5D earth is people are losing focus of through their heart-centeredness. And they're manifesting a timeline that is not for the new earth. So I'm not going to go through all this message. It's quite lengthy, but essentially the message is do not get caught up in the antics of this world. They are simply meant to, this election and whomever wins it is part of the crumbling of the old 3D matrix. Like I said, whoever wins this, the people who are true losers are the ones that are caught up in this energy and cannot escape from it, because it will keep you into the 3D earth matrix and you will not be able to join the elders. So anyway, namaste, namaskaram.